many people are charmed by guinea pigs and want them as a pet in their homes. And today I'm going to tell you 20 facts you need to know before you decide to get a guinea pig. Fact number 1. Think whether you have enough space to keep a guinea pig. In fact, the guinea pig is a rather large animal, so it needs a cage that at least 5 feet or 1.5 meters long. Besides, you need to let it out of said cage for a walk. On walks, pay attention to safety and make sure that the piggy does not slip. You can let it out on the carpet if the carpet doesn't have thread that a pig can get tangled in. You can even line some places with fleece so that the animal feels great walking there. If you give enough space to your piggy, you can observe its behavior in all its various forms and see that it's a very funny, playful and very interesting animal. Yes, fact number 2. Guinea pigs are very boring and uninteresting pets if they are cramped. Often pet stores misinform people about the bare minimum necessary to keep these animals, and it results in an unhappy pigs which shows no interest in life, begins to make noise, rattle the cage, its muscles become weaker, the well-being deteriorates, it lives much less, and this life brings no pleasure neither to the animal nor to its owners. It's also difficult to practice good hygiene in a cramped cage. You have to clean very often, otherwise the piggy starts to smell. Fact number 3. Pigs feel better in a group. It is a very social animal and not all of its social needs can be met by human. That's why it's better to have pigs in pairs. And there is a double benefit. It will be more interesting for you to observe the piggy when it's not alone, and the piggy will be much better always being in the company of other pigs. And of course it is much better to have same-sex animals to avoid unwanted offspring. Fact number 4. The most important one. Pigs are very anxious creatures. They are anxious about literally everything. In the wild, guinea pigs can fall prey to a myriad of predators, and the only thing they can counter it with to always be vigilant and try to run away and hide. The piggy is very nervous, and if the stress doesn't end, then the stress can end the piggy. There are numerous cases of guinea pigs having heart attacks caused by stress. So if you don't have a calm environment at home, or if you have other pets that may agitate and scare the pig, or active children who won't be able to learn to display a caring attitude towards this pet, then it is better to give up on having a guinea pig. Otherwise, the experience can be very miserable for both you and the pig. Fact number 5. Guinea pigs can scream, and their scream can be very shrill, similar to that of the parakeet. They scream out of fear, anxiety, excitement, and sometimes just when talking to each other. In general, pigs make a lot of sounds, and if you are born with this animal, you will see their diversity. You will learn what sounds are the sounds of pleasure, how trusting pig can sing when communicating with you brings it joy. These beautiful sounds can be an incredible experience. But for those who don't like loud noises in the house, in general, this can also be a downside when keeping this pet. Fact number 6. You will have to take care of their nails and teeth. Guinea pigs' nails grow all their lives. At the same time, they have very sensitive heels, so they need a special soft padding in a cage. We will talk about this later. And because of this soft padding, they won't be able to wear down their nails naturally. In nature, they live on the ground, which is soft and abrasive at the same time. But in captivity, it's almost impossible to provide clean and hygienic soil cover unless you own a large outside enclosure like in a zoo. Nails unfortunately will overgrow, and you should clip them once every 2 weeks so that the piggy doesn't feel uncomfortable. You should devote some time to getting your pig accustomed to trimming so that it is not too stressful to the piggy. But this can usually be done, especially with feeding them treats. Cut its nails with special clippers for small animals and cut off only the edge where there is no living tissues and blood vessels. And it is always best to have hemostatic sponges or blood clotting powders at home. Because if you had damaged the tip of a vessel while clipping, blood can run for a very long time, and such products can help you a lot. And remember, nail care is a must. If nails overgrow, it will get the way of normal toe positioning, which can lead to deformities, fractures, and other problems. And in fact, my video is not the best example of a piggy's body position when clipping its nails. This little one is accustomed to this, and her owner is very experienced. But in general, it can be potentially dangerous. The back is their weak point and is very easy to break. It is very important to always monitor the position of the back so that it does not bend. Some people and their pigs find it too difficult, in which case you should let the professionals trim the nails. Here we have freshly trimmed nails. They do not deform the toe. The toes are laying flat. That's what it should look like after the trimming. As for the teeth, in principle, if your pig has enough toys, wood, and most importantly always has raw food such as hay to wear down its back teeth, then normally the teeth won't overgrow. But if your pig suddenly turns out to have a malocclusion or bad bite, then its teeth may overgrow, and they need to be filed regularly at the doctors. They need to be filed because the clipping that's recommended in some communities is dangerous for rodents, and modern veterinarians have eliminated this method from their practice because it very often causes the teeth to crack right down to the root. After that, animal's tooth will most likely just have to be extracted. Also, animals that have been kept and fed incorrectly for a long time often have to have their teeth corrected. Also, if you have a long-haired pig, you need to pay attention to its hair care. Long-haired pigs need to get used to brushing, and if their hair becomes too long, they step on it, dirt sticks to it, and of course it needs to be trimmed. Fact number 7. The guinea pig needs the correct diet. As with any other animals, proper nutrition is a key to a happy, healthy and successful life. That said, very often pet stores and retailers misinform on what is the optimal diet for these animals. Manufacturers still produce beautiful packages of grain and muesli feeds on which they confidently draw pictures of guinea pigs. And people start thinking that this kind of diet is quite suitable for their pets. They do the same trick with treats as grain sticks, such as seed sticks. In fact, the guinea pig is mainly a herbivorous animal, so it is a very bad idea to feed it grains. Yes, many guinea pigs can be tough and hardy, and their intestines aren't that vulnerable that they soon die of grain like rabbits do, or quickly get diabetes like the tegu. Piggies can tolerate a lot of things, but it will all be unnatural for the animal, and it will start to get sick. Even if instead muesli food you buy good herbal-based pellet food, which is also often marketed as a complete diet for guinea pigs, and feed your pig only those pellets, it won't lead to anything good. Unfortunately, like many unusual pets, piggies are not cats and dogs, and you won't meet all their dietary needs with food from just one package. It will lead to obesity. The piggy will develop teeth problems from the lack of roughage. The teeth won't wear down properly and may cut into the gums or even grow into the jaw, causing abscesses and even death of the animal. This is why a proper diet with hay is vitally important for guinea pigs. A truly healthy meal for this pet should consist mostly of clean, fluffy, non-moldy varied hay, preferably orchard or timothy. Hay should make up 60 to 80% of the diet, and it should be served in flat hay trays. There are many accidents with the round hay feeders when pigs get stuck in them, so they should be avoided. Serve up 50 to 20% of fresh vegetables and greens. Fruit is given occasionally as a treat, literally once a week. Excess sugar is also very harmful. It upsets their digestive system. Ideally, you can eliminate fruit altogether, because something like parsley is also perceived by the guinea pigs as a treat. It reacts well to it, and you can maintain maintain your bond with the pig without sweets. Since guinea pigs are prone to kidney stone disease, access to fresh food high in oxalates should be restricted, and exceptions should only be made for some foods, especially high in calcium, since it binds with oxalate their intestines before moving to kidneys. I will link detailed information on feeding guinea pigs in the description and in the pinned comment below the video, because it can be difficult to understand these nuances from scratch. And only about 15% of the diet can be pellets, depending on the needs of your piggy and how prone to obesity it is. Exclusively herbal pellets with no or minimum grains and with the right balance of protein, fat and fiber. Like humans, guinea pigs are not produce their own vitamin C, and if you do not give them extra vitamin C, they may develop scurvy over time. There are special vitamin C supplements for guinea pigs, but it is not at all necessary to buy it and give them. It's much better if you just give the pigs vegetables, fruits and herbs high in vitamin C as much as possible. Also, vitamin C is often already added in quality pellets for guinea pigs. To give you better guidance on the best diet for your guinea pigs, I have made a special chart. You can find the link in the description. Also, the guinea pig should always have access to clean, fresh, dechlorinated water. Large water bottles that hold a lot of water or stored ceramic cups work well for guinea pigs. And common opinion is that a water bottle prevents pigs from drinking enough, but scientific research shows that on the contrary, pigs like to drink from these bottles even more than from bowls. Under certain conditions, they drink more water from water bottles, which can even help prevent kidney stone disease. If you prefer open water bowls, you can use them as well, but make sure that the water is clean all the time, so your pigs don't get poisoned, because that can be a lot of microbes in water bottle, but it's microbes from saliva, not from the poop, and unfortunately poop can easily be putted on the bowl. Mineral stones and salt licks should not be used at all. Excess salt is very bad for guinea pigs. And of course, please do not give your guinea pigs unsuitable and dangerous food. I have also listed most of them in the special chart under the video. By feeding foods from this list, you run a risk of becoming an emergency client at the vets. Fact number 8 is that guinea pigs are prone to obesity. So please don't overfeed them with pellets and treats. There is always a risk that after getting full on pellets, they will refuse their main food, hay. So it is recommended to give them just 1 spoonful of pelleted food a day and plenty of hay. If the hay isn't alfalfa, not calorific, the pig won't overeat. Obesity in animals causes the exact same negative consequences as obesity in humans, meaning unnecessary strain on health, risk of cardiovascular problems, risk of diabetes, and so on. Fact number 9, guinea pigs have sensitive paws that are prone to food spores, so proper bedding is very important for their well-being. The practice of keeping guinea pigs on fleece blankets or using special fleece cage liners is widespread in America. Fleece has no threads for your pet's clothes to get stuck in. It absorbs excrement well and stays very soft. But you have to clean the liners from feces and food leftovers 1-2 times a day and wash and change them very often. There are other methods that are safe for pets, such as using aspen shavings or paper bedding. Pine shavings are not suitable because pine is strong irritant and can cause allergies, and cedar shavings can cause cell death. You can even use wood pellets. The only thing is keep the pigs from hurting their paws, so cover pellets with something soft. The layer of other bedding, or for example a PVC bath mat with lots of hole in it. The mat will protect the paws from direct contact with the raw pellets. It let the urine pass through and absorb it. Just in case, it's important to make sure that your pig doesn't try to chew or accidentally swallow things like a PVC mat or fleece blanket. And other rough surface bedding such as corn cobs should not be used. If the surface is too rough, your pigs can develop harmful foot spores on their paws, which are very hard to treat. And guinea pigs are very prone to this. And sometimes even some household items, such as rough balls that the piggy leans on when eating, can cause foot spores. Actually, it is not important what exactly type of bedding you use, as long as it's dust-free, protect your pet's eyes and respiratory system, and it is easy to keep clean and soft enough. Cleanliness and the lack of bad odors is the key to your little friend's well-being. And I should warn you, sometimes it is not easy to do because pigs pee a lot. Oh, fact number 10 is probably so important that it should have been mentioned first. Pigs really pee a lot. I haven't seen an animal which pees as much as guinea pig. Probably only Indian crested porcupine. But just look at them. They like a giant guinea pig with needles. Anyway, guinea pigs are being champions. So the bedding has to be changing or washing very often. Urine produces ammonia and sitting on it extremely bad for both paws and respiratory system. Fact number 11, the guinea pigs must be tamed. Even if you got it from the good breeder, the guinea pig in a new place and with new people will most likely be very nervous. So in the first few days, you will need to let it calm down, get used to you and the new environment. It is useful to talk to the animal in a very kind voice, from a distance, comfortable to the pig. You know, predators usually do not make sounds, so as not to scare the prey away. So if you make sounds, it will signal to your defenseless and frightened guinea pigs that you are not dangerous. Avoid sudden sounds and movements. Only as your guinea pig develops trust in you should you begin to make closer contact with your pig. Show them the distance, offer it to eat some treats from your hands, try to proceed very slowly and very gently. Try to not frighten it, and the more time you can spend with the pig, pay attention to it, figure out where exactly it likes to be scratched, exactly how it likes to be treated, the sooner you will be able to bond with it, see its true personality and the full of beauty of interacting with the pig. You may even hear the guinea pig singing out of pleasure. And remember fact number 12, guinea pigs are very harmless and vulnerable. This is a pet that is not well suited for really young children. Because, yes, of course, guinea pigs almost never bite. It is very rare for a guinea pig to bite a human. This is why they are often given to children, since they are not dangerous to kids. But the safety of guinea pigs are neglected. And I confess to being very worried about these little vulnerable, timid animals, because since they can't protect themselves, they just die of a heart attack. I certainly won't be the one who yells, never, never, never get pigs if there are children in the family, because I have seen many positive cases where parents have taught a child how to treat them and everything was good. Just remember that you must guide your children when they are learning to understand this wonderful and really gentle creature. Otherwise, the piggy will hide from the child and avoid them by all means. Always remind the child not to make sudden movements, not to frighten the pet with active games and screams near its cage. Also, it is dangerous to grab the pig against its will. And when petting the pig, you should figure out if you are both enjoyed or if it's just you. Fact number 13, pigs breed very easily. The pig gives birth to few babies, but it gets pregnant very easily and gets it very often. Baby pigs are born completely independent, and it is very funny spectacle. Babies of other rodents are born naked and blind, but babies of guinea pigs are tiny carbon copies of their parents and start running around immediately after birth. But unfortunately, the situation is that there are a lot of them are already being bred for pet stores and markets, and they are often sold to people who don't know what's in store for them when they get this pet. And as a result, many pigs in all countries often become unwanted and end up in shelters. Therefore, if you are not a breeder and do not breed guinea pigs with certain qualities so that people can have beautiful, healthy, purebred pets, so there is no need to breed them. If you do so, then finding good owners capable of providing a decent environment for guinea pigs will be a big problem. Most likely, this experience will not bring pleasure neither to you nor to these animals. Fact number 14, which states that you should keep the opposite sex animals strictly separate, is built on the previous fact. Alternatively, you can fix one or both of them. But even neutered males can sometimes bother females with excessive harassment. So keeping guinea pigs in single-sex pairs or groups is preferable. Fact number 15, finding a vet for the pigs is pretty hard. Not every place or city has vets who understand the specifics of rodents' diseases and specifics of guinea pigs' diseases. Regular veterinarians most often only treat cats and dogs, and only deal with those animals. So both neutering and simple vet care such as regular checkups or teeth and nail trimming can be a problem. But if something bad happens to your pet, you'll be forced to seek emergency care. So it's worth researching your options in advance. And also get pet insurance if it's available in your country, because veterinary care can be very expensive. Fact number 16, I have already mentioned that there is a huge numbers of guinea pigs for all tastes. Long-haired ones and the ones with rosettes, smooth-coated and shiny ones, piggies that are plush like a teddy, and even completely bald ones, the ones with some fluff on the nose. As I have said, there are a lot of pigs. If you decide to buy a pig, it is better to take it from a good breeder, where they monitor the health of the animals, making sure that they have a normal bite and consequently making sure that the offspring is strong and healthy. This will be the best and safest option for you. Or if you just want to have a pet pig and you do not care what color or coat pattern it has, and you are willing to give it love and care no matter what, then it's a great option to take one from a shelter. Because as I said, a lot of people are misinformed about these animals. They decide to get them. So they are often disappointed and just give them up. And a lot of pigs are in great need of a good owner, good hands and good care. A small remark, yes, guinea pigs were raised for meat. Just as in many countries, people raise chickens, pigs, turkeys and sometimes even rabbits for meat, similarly, guinea pigs have historically been raised for food at their home in Peru, South America. And later, some people recognized them as wonderful creatures and decide to fully domesticate them. So they spent a lot of time selecting the most loyal individuals who would make a comfortable friend to live with. Over time, breeders and guinea pigs enthusiasts selected more and more communicative and less anxious guinea pigs, paying attention to their appearance, and thus our pet guinea pigs got smaller, became cute, tame and very loyal to humans. But there are still those guinea pigs raised for meat in Peru. They are sometimes taken out of the country under a special breed named Cuy. I have had experience keeping these animals, and sometimes they are sold in Russia and in Europe. And if you have happened to have the opportunity to get a Cuy, I want to warn you that they are very different from the guinea pigs we are used to. Firstly, they are simply huge in size. It is not uncommon for an adult Cuy to weigh about 10 pounds or 3 kilograms. And since they were only bred for meat, they are even more prone to obesity and should not to be given anything except hay, light greenery and vegetables. And there is a good chance you will never tame a Cuy, because they were not selected for this trait at all. And despite their size, they are even more anxious than the average guinea pigs and should be treated 10 times more carefully. Also, they naturally need a lot more living space, because they really can be bigger in size than a rabbit. Fact number 17, they need a house and toys. Guinea pigs are not stupid. They're very cool, very smart, and if you enrich their environment, they become a very interesting pet. And even in a regular pet store, you can buy a lot of toys, shelves and hammocks to make your piggy's life more interesting, and consequently make it more interesting for you to observe the pet. Also, the piggy will be much more comfortable when it has something resembling a cozy burrow, when it can always hide, so it is necessary to give them shelter. I should note separately that trying to enrich your piggy's environment with exercise wheels is a very bad idea. Guinea pigs have a very vulnerable back, and while most smaller burrowing rodents such as rats and mice are okay with bending their backs a bit, this small clumsy guinea pig has a very high risk of being crippled. Please do not experiment with any balls or wheels. It is better to just give them more room to run around on the floor, preferably in a special fenced area. Fact number 18 is a nice one. Unlike many other rodents, the guinea pigs, with good care, proper diet and attention, can delight you with their presence for about 8 years. Fact number 19, guinea pigs can cause allergies. I say this about all animals, but please let me remind you again. If someone, for example, at a pet store tells you that a guinea pig is hypoallergenic, please don't believe them. Yes, if you're allergic to cats or dogs, it doesn't necessarily mean that you will be allergic to guinea pigs. But it also doesn't mean that there aren't people who can't be allergic to them. So always try to spend some time around the animal you want to buy, just to make sure that you are not allergic to their fur as well as their saliva, food and hay, or get tested for allergies if you or your family members are prone to allergic reactions. And fact number 20, guinea pigs are absolutely magical and amazing creatures. This animal is very anxious. If you scare it, if you make a wrong condition for it, the pig will be mean, bored and nasty. You just won't understand the pet. But if the conditions are great, if you show the respect and patience to the pig, you will get a friend you can have a lot of fun with. And just look how cute they are. I just don't know who could be more adorable than caviamorph rodents. Have you seen a capybara? Have you seen an Indian or African crested porcupine? They're just something else. That's why guinea pigs can forever make a special place in your heart. The main thing is to know the truth about keeping them before you get one. This has been Marina Pravda, Mystery Channel, the truth about keeping strange pets in our homes. A huge thank you to everyone who supports the channel, leaves likes and shares the videos, and support responsible pet ownership in any other way.